Hello. The Hive has had a bunch of issues in the past and still is having some. But one glaring issue that the Hive has made is the fact the anti-cheat on the Hive has just a ton of issues with it. And I understand an anti-cheat today is very, very hard to make, even with AI tools like that. You still can barely make one that's efficient. But I feel like there's a ton of servers out there, like, for example, Zika, Divinity, all have a perfectly fine anti-cheat. And on the Hive, it's just, I get banned, kicked every time I just log on the server for. Every week, I get banned almost. Last week, I got banned. The week before, 2 weeks before, I got banned. And it's just the recurring thing. If I'm on 90 ping that I'm normally on, I get kicked for that. Sometimes I get on 140 when I go to Europe to Q Dodge, I get banned for that. It's not that fun whenever you're playing just alone and you get kicked, but say you're making a new server and you need an anti-cheat. You could just sure, it may cost more money, which is understandable. You could find an anti-cheat that works better. I don't know if you would have to swap all the server plugins out, but the fact that more than 1,000 players get false banned is kind of crazy because they're just playing the game seriously. Some aren't, like me, but some are playing the game very seriously and they just want to have fun when they do it. They don't want to get banned or kicked. And I've donated for boosters and all of that. I may have donated almost over $100 to the Hive. And they don't let me continue a chat. They say the same copied and paste message every single time. And once you try and reply, sometimes it doesn't let you reply. When I got banned today, or a couple of days ago, it says you cannot finish this chat, and you would just have to wait out your ban, which, in my opinion, is a very weird thing to do, because I want to keep on talking and say, hey, I was using Flareoil client, and I don't think this ban is correct. Because if they took the time to download Flareoil and launch it into the game, you could tell that, oh, this person has Flareoil injected, you can't inject anything else with it. So I've been seeing a bunch of other people have problems with this. I've been kicked a ton of times, which I think is kind of upsetting, especially if I'm only doing 15 CPS, sometimes 15 to 20, and I get kicked for that. Sometimes it's because of movement and ghost blocks. But still, in spite of that, if I am on 90 ping, you should make it more adaptive friendly. Because these players that hack are just running around, b-hopping, and you can't really do anything about that. So I don't understand how, in any way, that I and many other people get false banned, but they just get to roam free and play the game normally. And as the time I got banned is, but it is during the time of an XP week where I want to get a bunch of grinding in, so it's also hard to cooperate with that with how I'm playing with everything else. The Hive overall is a great server, and maybe if they tweaked a couple things it could be better. But the fact they copy and paste the same message every single time for every single message, and they just say you cannot reply to this message, and if you they do it the opposite of how, in my opinion, you would do it. If you get false banned and they deny your appeal, they will not let you continue the chat with you, which if you want to explain more about why you think this is a false ban, then you can keep going with that. And the fact that you could upload your POV of it and they may not look at it, because I was recording. I could have probably sent that, but now that they don't let me finish the chat, I can't send that. So I just think they could have so many different ways that they could change it, and this probably won't get out to them since I'm a small channel and that they barely don't listen to people with a ton of channels or a ton of subscribers. And yeah, I don't know what else to say. So don't send any hate to the Hive, because it's a great server and I don't think it should be hated on in any way, because they're still adding on to everything. But I think, in my opinion, they should really focus on fixing their anti-cheat instead of adding more games and more updates, because if you fix that, the Hive will basically be one of the best servers in the world now. So if it's not already the best server in the world. So yeah, bye.